Hey guys, welcome to Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews. I am your host Boise, and this is SmackDown Live Review. We have pretty much a happy birthday party for Shane O'Mac. We have a match of a year candidate already in January. Jesus bloody Christ, that's impressive. And we have probably one of the lamest backstage segments I've ever seen. Let's get on with it. This is SmackDown Live. So we kicked off the show with the man herself, Becky Lynch, and I like this. This is a great opening segment. We started off with Becky Lynch driving in. Interviewer tried to interview her. She threw her keys to her. It's like, park my car. I haven't got time to say anything to you because what I have to say, I'll say it to the WWE Universe. She walks past the New Day and Heavy Machinery, and she tries Heavy Machinery's weird ass protein shake, and even she says bit bland in it, and then walks out to the WWE Universe. She cuts a absolutely brutal promo against Asuka, her opponent at the Royal Rumble. You would be confused to think Becky Lynch is still the SmackDown Live Women's Champion because she feels like a champ, she acts like a champ, and my god, she is a champ. She cuts a brilliant promo against Asuka. Asuka comes out, and yes, Asuka's not the best talker, but her chemistry in the ring is absolutely brilliant. She even starts shouting in Japanese, which is fantastic, and both women look like they're about to throw fists at each other before they are rudely interrupted by the IIconics, who state they're going to win the brand new women's tag team. They're going to win the Royal Rumble, and they're going to main event WrestleMania and be the first ever tag team / SmackDown Live Women's Champion. Pretty impressive. Becky wasn't impressed though, and she said, "Get in the ring." And we actually got a match. We had two really big matches here, and I'm gonna quickly get into them. Becky Lynch versus Royce, and it was an obvious match. And let's be honest, Royce wasn't gonna win, but it was good chemistry. They have that, and which is fantastic. Becky Lynch was just brutal, and it just shows how dangerous Becky is, and I really like that. She did get the win with the disarmer, and before they could get away, Asuka drags Billie Kay into the ring. They also have which is a much quicker match. Asuka puts her pretty much into the Asuka lock while keeping her eyes on Becky Lynch, and where both women are about to get in the ring and about to scream at each other, AJ Styles music hits, and that's pretty much the end of this segment. I'm going to give this a 3-star segment. I think that with everything, and I mean everything from the backstage to the two matches, it was all in one part, and that's how I'm marking it. So I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. Good start to the show so far. Next up, like I said, AJ Styles interrupts Becky Lynch and Asuka, and he moves straight back to where the WWE Universe is, and he is at the concession stands, and he is saying, unlike Daniel Bryan, I think everyone should be able to enjoy what they have. I think that's what life's all about, and that's what we should be focusing on. And he cuts a good promo. This is very quick. It's not as good as the Daniel Bryan promo which we had last week at the concession stand, but it was good that AJ went back to like a very similar surroundings, and the WWE Universe are just so hyped to see AJ Styles like that close to him. It's just brilliant. He's throwing shirts, merchandise. I'm pretty sure Vince McMahon was like, "Hey, not too many of those shirts, AJ. We have to make a profit here, you know. Stop throwing all the shirts, not all of them." That's the most worst Vince McMahon impression I've ever made. Then Daniel Bryan attacks him, and this is the best thing. The promo was very short, but the fight between the two men was quick as well. But it just says more with them being able. They're not able to, they don't have to say too much now. The rivalry's already set in stone. They don't like each other, don't like where each man's coming from. Daniel Bryan thinks he's mightier than thou kind of situation, where AJ Styles is a lot more aggressive since speaking to Vince McMahon. It's a really good rivalry right now, and it's hamping up their Royal Rumble, match for the WWE title. So I'm gonna give this a 2.5 star. I think it was good, but it wasn't as good as last week's segment. Next up, we were supposed to get Samoa Joe versus Mustafa Ali, and I know what you think. Hold on, supposed to? Yep, that's right. Samoa Joe is not wasting any time or energy on Mustafa Ali. He legitimately just destroyed Mustafa Ali. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh no, you can't destroy Mustafa Ali. He's one of the brightest stars, newest stars on SmackDown Live. Trust me, the writers have done something smart here. It's not just allowing Samoa Joe to look like an absolute beast, which they did, which is fantastic, but it's also building up a rivalry which they could really put as one of the biggest rivalries of the year if done right. Now, Mustafa Ali's selling is absolutely fantastic. He went through the ring post not just once, but about 3 times. It looked like Samoa Joe was about to take him into the table, but he fought otherwise and just threw him into the barricades, and that was cool. But this is a message. It's not a message to Mustafa Ali, which is smart. He's not worried about Mustafa Ali, Samoa Joe said. He and 29, superstars are going to be my opponents at the Royal Rumble. And if I get an opportunity to take one of them out before the Royal Rumble, better for me. And that's what it is. Samoa Joe doesn't care about Mustafa Ali. He's thinking long term, and that's cool. That's the dangerous Samoa Joe you want to see. Yes, this is definitely going to build up a great rivalry, but it was a short and amazing little part for SmackDown Live because it's building. It's that little building bricks which you want to see. So for me, another 2.5 star, but this rivalry is about to heat up really well. Next up, we've gone to the match of the year for me. And I know it's only January and there could be a lot more matches of the year, but my God, this has got to be a contender. This has got to be a contender. Andrade, I'm going to still call him by his full name, even though WWE have dropped the middle and last name. Andrade Cien Almas versus Rey Mysterio. Yeah, I don't know why they dropped that, but my God, what a bloody match. What these two have been able to do, not just in a in a WWE ring, but I don't think in any other ring where you could see that kind of action. And that's brilliant for taping as well, a TV taping show. That's bloody brilliant. That is pay-per-view level brilliance. And the only thing which blows my mind is this. Whoever thought, this match looks really good, we'll put it as the semi-main event. We'll put Shane McMahon's birthday as main event, but it's not main event. It's like, what are you doing? This is a main event match. These two had the chemistry, they had the ability, they were pulling off moves I've never even seen before. There's only one other man I could think of who could go into this match and make it even better, and that's Ricochet. My God, imagine that Ricochet, Andrade, and Rey Mysterio in one match. That would be a hell of a match. Book it, Vince. Bloody bucket. But yeah, back to the match itself. It was a fantastic match. It was a hard-hitting match, and it looked like either man could win, and that's what the whole point of this match. There were points when it looked like Rey Mysterio was going to get it. It looked like Andrade was about to win at any time, and then it all took Zelina Vega to distract the referee to allow Andrade to get an upper hand, only for a second, but he finally managed to put Rey Mysterio away. But my God, before he did that, it was a bloody hard to watch match because it was so good. You're like, oh my God, I'm exhausted watching it, and I'm not even in it. So I am going to give this the first 5 out of 5 star rating on Smack Talk Wrestling. Yeah, I loved every second of it. It's going to be at the highlight of the year at December for me. I just loved it. Now I'm going to talk about probably the worst backstage segment so far this year. Mandy Rose, Naomi, and the Jimmy Uso situation. Oh God. Pretty much this is the situation. Mandy sent a note and a rose to the Usos. They read it. She invited him to her hotel. She had a hotel key she gave him. Jimmy turns up. tells her, look, no, Naomi scares me and I love her and all that. Sorry. And you know, you're like, what, 2 foot tall? Hell no. Photographer jumps out, takes photos of him, just going, no. And then she's like, I don't care about you if you like me or not, I'm just using this to wind up Naomi. Jimmy goes, my wife? Okay. And then walks out, and Naomi's in the hotel room. They start having a bit of a tussle, and Mandy Rose escapes. This is just a bad segment. I didn't enjoy this. I was literally like, oh yeah, Mandy, yeah, okay. This is boring. This is very similar to the Rusev, Lana, and Aiden English segment, which failed a few months ago, so I don't understand why WWE tried to do it again. But you know, Mandy trying to manipulate the Uso, you know, Jimmy Uso and his wife. It makes no sense for me. I'm gonna give this a 1.5 star because the only positives is Mandy Rose is getting to show off her promo skills, but everything else just seems to be meh. Last but not least, we got Shane O'Mac's Bestie's Birthday Bash, hosted by The Miz. And like I said in the last video, I don't mind silliness. But for me, it has to happen either near the start or in the middle of the show. The main event has to be your main event. It has to be the best match of the night, and that should have been Rey Mysterio versus Andrade. I think that should have been the main event of the show for SmackDown. This here should have been in the middle, and it felt like a middle segment. It didn't feel like a main event segment. So we pretty much had The Miz hosting a celebration for Shane O'Mac's birthday. He gives them some trainers. The bar interrupts, and Shane goes, you know what I want as well for my birthday? The Miz to fight Sheamus. And that was like, oh, okay. And it was a quick match. Again, it's one of those things where you look at it and you go, what's going on here? How is this? Why is this happening? And of course, what happens? Cesaro gets put through a table with food, because that seems to be what happens to Cesaro and Sheamus. They somehow always have fights where there's tables either with food, cake, whatever, and they get pushed through it, and then Miz quickly pins Sheamus. Sheamus gets really annoyed, starts beating up The Miz. Shane O'Mac comes out and helps him, beats up Sheamus, and then The Miz hits a skull-crushing finale where Shane O'Mac hurts himself doing the coast-to-coast, going through Cake and Sheamus. Yes, a waste of a segment. It looks like Shane's hurt himself, my god, doing his own finisher. That's great. But I do like the chemistry between Shane O'Mac and The Miz. I think The Miz is turning face. It looks like he's turning face, and it's a natural turn as well. It's not like when he turned face when he started helping Ric Flair a few years ago and remember how bad that was. No, I think this is a more natural face turn for The Miz, and maybe we could see Daniel Bryan versus The Miz for the WWE title, but with it out them, you know, swapping roles where one's a heel, one's a face, where we always expect it would be Daniel being the baby face and The Miz being the heel, and now it could be, obviously now we have Daniel the heel and The Miz becoming the face, it seems. So we're living in bizarro world, people. What am I going to give the score for this segment? Like I said, I like the funniness, but it just took away from it being, it's not a main event segment. It feels like the only play is in the main event because it had Shane O'Mac in, and he's the son of Vince, so it makes sense they would do that. So I'm going to give this a 2.5 stars. And there you go, guys. That was SmackDown Live for this weekend. What did I think? I think Raw was better. I'm not going to lie. I think SmackDown was good. It's still building up on everything it needs to do, and it continuing storylines is always better. And it does have the best match of the year so far with Andrade Cien Almas versus Rey Mysterio. That is a brilliant match. But everything else just seemed to be okay, or nah. So what am I going to score this week's SmackDown Live? Well, seeing as Raw was a 3.5 star show, I think I'm going to give SmackDown a 3-star show. But what was your favourite part of SmackDown Live? Leave it in the comments below. If you do like our videos, don't forget to like, subscribe and press that bell to keep notified. And if you want to follow me on the old Twitter, it's at Boise88. If you want to follow the channel, it's at Smack Talk YouTube. And I'll see you guys next time on Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews.